it's going to be a lot of fun to watch these games. Probably not as fun for the players to go through everything they're about to go through sort of emotionally, but I'm excited just to get into one and get started.
And I mean, the chance to get more of those global series points as well. I mean, Chris Strout was talking about how Andonii hasn't really got anywhere further than any quarterfinals. He was right. I mean, but now this is his chance. He's into the semi-final. He has a chance to get to a console final, a chance to get 450 global series points if he were to get to that PS4 final. So that's what he's going to have on the brain. It's like, I want to get to that E-World Cup. I want to be able to achieve the Global Series points, so I get there. But here we go then. First semi-final of the day. It's on the PS4 side of things. Andonii versus Lev. Boras thinks it's going to be a close one. Doesn't think there's going to be that many goals. We'll see what happens.
Well, let's see how these two players go up against each other then. Andonii going to be playing in the Bilbao kit. And then xLevVinken will be playing in the dark blue, or the black, sorry, here. I think it's actually the Ajax kit that he will be playing in. Interesting to see that Andonii using both Vieira and the Team of the Year Kante in those CDM positions. It looks like he's using Ruud Gullit slightly more advanced up in that cam roll. Obviously has the stats to pretty much play anywhere on the pitch you would possibly want him to, but we'll see what kind of effect that Ruud Gullit can have higher up the pitch.
I feel that way about a lot of the Team of the Year foot items as well. You can kind of put them in any role and they will get the job done. But it was quite interesting to see Tex kind of sticking to some of his old guards that he's played with thus far. Finesse shot from outside the box, not quite connecting with the green, so it's easy to pick up for De Gea this time. But a nice early warning shot, just to let him know he's there, let him know he's got that in his arsenal.
And that is a destructive ball forward there from the goalkeeper, driven forward, almost managed to get his player in behind there. One thing that stood out for me early on there was we talked about Ruud Gullit and how he might add to things going forward here for Andonii in that cam roll in the 4-2-3-1, but also defensively, the first thing he done was actually win the ball high up the pitch. You have to remember that he's going to be able to cover that ground, and there's that first line of defence behind, you know, that man up top, that striker, which of course will be Cristiano Ronaldo. Having that little bit of extra stretch in there and extra defensive stats might actually win the ball back in some pretty advanced positions.
And Andonii's play style hasn't changed too much since we saw him at the first LQE in Paris those months ago. He likes to play possession-based football, wait for the gaps to actually open up on the wing, waits for those players to make the runs off the ball. And he's done exactly that, and now Mbappe's going to twist and turn and try and work his way into the box. Not going to work out this time, though.
Yeah, Marcelo stands strong there for xLevVinken. Now a nice switch of the play there, immediately looking to turn defence into attack. Now Ramos in at right back once again. It seems like we're seeing that more and more from more players as the tournament progresses. Great ball from Ruud Gullit out here, and Lionel Messi, who couldn't quite get that one under his spell. Very uncharacteristic of that particular Team of the Year foot item.
Andonii's going to be more than happy to see a little slip up like that, give him possession back once again. He is favouring this right-hand side, and I don't know if a lot of people are just because of how well Mbappe's been doing, but he gives the ball away. And a chance on the other side now for Lev to kind of make him pay for that wayward pass.
Here's Vieira then on the edge of the box. Cristiano Ronaldo back to Vieira. Here is Lionel Messi. Didn't have a great first touch in this game, but he's looking to make his second one effective. Defender gets in the way, though. Well defended there by Andonii, brings it away with Maldini.
And Lev maybe just getting a little bit frustrated there with the amount of players that were around him. Maybe could have looked to pass it backwards and try and work the ball a little bit more. Instead, he kind of took the shot, despite the fact there was a few defenders sitting in the way of it. And depending on how you've got your dynamic tactics set up, sometimes if you've got them on full-back, for example, those players are going to sit in front of that ball.
Now Ronaldo's managed to get in behind here for xLevVinken. Little ball roll. Trying to get back inside his man, but Andonii again standing solid there at the back. Now he comes away. Kante and Vieira. They're going to be sitting pretty deep there. You talk about the work rates of these two foot items, and both of them have high defensive work rates, but Ruud Gullit now in that advanced position gets a second bite at the cherry for Andonii. He's going to be relying a lot on those wide cams, the striker and Ruud Gullit, to create for him. Ronaldo now plays this one wide. Neymar into the box early. Another thing we didn't talk about is the additional height in that cam roll that Ruud Gullit's going to provide.
Yeah, certainly very a threatening presence. I think for Andonii, he really is trying to expose Marcelo at left back. Even if you've got Marcelo on stay back whilst attacking, sometimes he does work his way up the pitch anyway because of those work rates. And Mbappe is trying to take full advantage of that. And whether that's going to be the key for Andonii to actually break this deadlock. But we said it was going to be the first 30 to 45 minutes that we're going to really shape up this game, this semi-final here. And it looks like it's going to take something special to try and break through one of these defenses.
And the longer that the game goes on like this as well, Dan, and it stays tight, the more and more these players have to focus. The concentration defensively, the weariness starts to come in, the fatigue starts to come in. You might be thinking, you know, it's only sort of 10, 15 minutes, 5 minutes if you're defending a particular attack sort of in game, but it really does drain you. You have to focus on every single pass, make sure your player switching is on point. Don't drag any particular defenders out of play. And of course, when it comes to it, you have to time those tackles as well. And that's exactly what Andonii's done right now. And he's trying to spring an attack, but De Gea quickly off his line. xLevVinken was awake to that one.
Sometimes you think those lob-through balls are actually going to make it, and you think maybe you can have a chance. It reminds me of the good old days of FIFA. I mean, what was it, FIFA 11, I think, when I used to get lob-through balls constantly to find goals. The goalkeepers are very quick off the mark, and especially if the player controlling them as well is well aware and just holds down Y or triangle, depending on console. It's very difficult to get those lob-through balls to actually connect nowadays.
So 5 minutes or so until the half-time whistle will go, and it's kind of followed the pattern that a lot of us were expecting. Boris was saying it on the desk. We agreed with him. Very attritional first half. Neither player really wanted to give anything away. Ramos now coming forward as we approach that half-time whistle. Well defended it again by Andonii. Not giving him any space to look to produce a cross or find a ball into the centre. But here is an opportunity. Neymar strikes it. Oh, and it's the crossbar, which denies the real first shot in anger from either of these players.
Keeper could do nothing but just watch that one. He hoped, he prayed, and thankfully someone answered him, and crossbar got in the way of it. That's the first real chance that we've seen of any sort of danger, but now Andonii has a chance to punish on the other side here, on the left. As we get into the dying moments of the first half, the whistle goes, and it is a little bit cagey. Not much in terms of chances in that first half, Mark.
Yeah, not much in terms of chances, as you say, Dan. Only that one real shot in anger to really write home about, and it was the crossbar, which was the difference between xLevVinken taking a goal lead into this second half. And, you know, the further into this tournament we get, the less likely we are going to see huge amounts of chances being created. It's what we talked about at the start of the game, and when you get those chances, Dan, you have to take them. He pretty much did everything right with the shot, to be fair. He hit that finesse shot, timed it green. Unfortunately, luck wasn't quite on his side there. But we are into the second half now, and it's going to be the first attack of the game going to xLevVinken.
I think maybe Neymar was just slightly off balance. Didn't quite hit it as well as he could have. But both of them very similar statistically in this tournament. 22 and 15 in terms of goals scored and against for Andonii, 21 and 15 for Lev. Although Lev has played an extra game, so in theory, he's a little bit better defensively, but maybe slightly worse offensively. But if Andonii can kind of find the form that he had in the Swiss when he was taking on players like Web Nasri, like Fafilza.
That's a great ball. Ronaldo now inside the box, well defended by Rafael Varane. As Andonii was looking a little bit dangerous there.
Even Andonii took down FIFA Houston, who was in the other semi-final. He beat him 6-5 in the Swiss as well. And I think knowing that you have taken down someone in the other semi-final is always a good thought to go into your own semi-final, because you think, well, if they win theirs, I've got a good chance in the console final of beating someone that I've already beat today or yesterday. Yeah,
on the flip side of that, you know, if you have lost to that player in the semi-final, you kind of learn from that and you know what to expect next time you go up against him. So, interesting battle potentially to come in our grand final. All going to be moved forward here again now by xLevVinken, who has, I would say, had the majority of the pressure in this game as far as, you know, possession is concerned, but no real big chances, as we say, and we're almost an hour in game into the match now, and it really has been a battle of patience, a battle of mentality so far. But that might be the first mistake of the game as Cristiano Ronaldo picks the pocket of the defender, and now Andonii has the chance to attack.
Yeah, he pounces on it. I mean, Lev's been doing that all game. He's just been passing it around the back four, trying to wait for Mbappe to make that run down the right-hand wing. And Andonii's just been sat there waiting. It's Kanté who takes the shot. Decent save from De Gea. Not stuck in the mud this time. Corner gets whipped in quickly, though. Marcelo does actually beat Ronaldo in the air. You don't see it too often. You're certainly thankful when you do.
Well, Ronaldo is now striding away down this left-hand side. Maldini's trying to get into position, but Might have been pulled out of position momentarily there while trying to win the ball back, excuse me, in an aggressive area of the pitch. Ramos now comes forward down this right-hand side. Whips the ball in, drives it in low, excuse me.
I love a good
trying
drift.
to find the feet of Lionel Messi. Hullet trying to dink that ball out to Neymar as well, but it seems both of these players are just putting up the wall at the moment. And neither of them have the equipment to get over it.
Yeah, I've got to respect how Andonii's been defending, to be honest. Yes, Lev has had more of the chances, but if you watch what Andonii's actually doing with his defenders, he's kind of leaving Lev to push with his man. He's not getting too aggressive. Instead, he's tracking those through ball runs. He's tracking the men off the ball who are making those dangerous runs, who could be punishing him for any mistakes.
Hullet with the strike.
Holding off the likes of Mbappe, who's trying to make that run down the right wing. Even Ronaldo trying to run straight through the middle as well. He's putting pressure on them, not allowing any sort of easy-peasy way through on goal. And we are going to have some tactic changes because I think we are at a little bit of a stalemate here.
Yeah, it looks like it's just going to be a change of personnel here for Andonii, bringing on some fresh legs. He's got that prime icon, Ronaldo, in at cam now, 96 rated, of course. And you've got your Sabio on the right-hand side, Pele on the left-hand side. So three prime icons being introduced to the mix here to see if they can maybe just find a little bit of magic to give him a goal lead as we head towards our second leg.
Magic can always be found from corners. He's controlling someone in the box. I think it's Cristiano Ronaldo who was controlling. Comes out to Maldini now. It's not Maldini, Ramos. You don't really want them on the ball.
Kante!
You don't usually want Kante on the ball either, but I suppose it's Team of the Year foot item Kante. It's a little bit different now.
And this is what I was talking about. You go back just to the last tournament. If N'Golo Kante was on the ball or Patrick Vieira's on that ball in that position, you know defensively you don't have to close down that space because the shot that's going to come in isn't as dangerous if, you know, it's your CR7, your R9, for example. But now we have that new foot item. That's the second time we've seen it on the broadcast so far. Kante, with a long-range strike with those huge buff to his shooting stats, can find that top corner, and it's the Chelsea man who gives him the lead.
And now this is the dangerous thing for Lev because Andonii is very comfortable once he takes a lead. He's very good at controlling a game, grinding it out, making sure he doesn't give away any easy opportunities. If he can just defend here from kickoff. Oh,
that's beautiful. Oh, this is beautiful. Oh, it's straight back in it. What a goal that was from xLevVinken. Out of nowhere, he produces a passing play to be proud of, and the man on the end of it is Lionel Messi. Whew, what a goal that was.
Now, I said he needed to defend from kickoff. Some of those defenders just slightly out of position, and he couldn't quite get close enough to the man. And to be fair to Lev, he passes it around nicely. He notices those players who have found that space. And now he's straight back in the game, and suddenly Andonii has to change back all of those tactics.
So then, 1-1. We're back to square one, as we say. Neither player with the lead at the moment. It was a beautiful little headed ball over to Lionel Messi, who found himself pretty much unmarked. N'Golo Kante was the closest player to him, trying to close down that space, but put it away. And we talked about how chance creation is going to be at a premium here. Both players have had, well, one real chance, to be honest, either side, and both of them have found the back of the net.
And of course, there's going to be some frustration from Andonii. After working so hard to get his first goal, to be immediately punished from the kickoff as well. But he can do the same now, back to Lev if he wants to. Get straight up that pitch. Get aggressive in these last 15.
15 minutes to go, as you mentioned, Dan. Of course, this is the first leg, if you're just joining us, of the first PlayStation 4 semi-final. Kante now on the ball, looking to find the ball in behind to Eusebio. He's fresh on the pitch. A fake shot around the corner, stops up. Croqueta inside, Marcelo sticking to his man beautifully though. Well defended here by xLevVinken. Varane, bit of space in the middle here for Vieira, but decides to go back to Ronaldo now. Ball outside. It's Pele on the ball. Oh, he manages to just about ride the challenge of Ruud Hullet. And now you're going to see xLevVinken coming forward on the counter-attack.
And what a way to end the game it would be for him. Just to really rub salt in the wounds, but Andonii defends the run well yet again. If there's one thing I take from this first leg, it has been Andonii's awareness of those off-the-ball runs, making sure that there isn't an easy pass.
So more Tactics being adjusted here by both the players, as you can see. And I think both players are probably thinking, I'm happy to go into the second leg at 1-1. I don't think either of them wants to lose this, obviously. I don't think either of them are probably too concerned with overcommitting, looking for a winning goal in this situation. It's, you know, it's a 1-goal lead going into the second leg. Yes, it's been a low-scoring game, so that 1-goal lead could be the difference, but the chance to go into the second leg with everything level just puts all the more emphasis on that second 90 minutes.
Well, when a game's this close, both of them know the win is within their reach, right? They know they can actually take this person down. They've probably played each other online many a time, whether it be weekend league, whether it be qualifiers. There's probably been wins or losses on both sides. But it's, in a tournament setting, it comes down to who actually has the bottle. Who can score that shot when it comes down to it. Who can make that tackle in a risky area, maybe in the penalty, where if they make it wrong, give away a penalty, and then that's exactly what you don't want to do in a semi-final. But nice, calm play from Lev, probably just going for a I want to be the last attack of the game here.
He's just waiting for this attack. He wants to make sure that the last shot in anger is his. Doesn't want to give Andonii any sort of opportunity to steal this away or create a counter-attacking opportunity. We're into stoppage time now, and I think that's going to be the signal here for xLevVinken to advance up the pitch and try and create one more chance to try and take a lead into our second leg. Here goes Ramos then, the Spaniard, down this right-hand side. Johan Cruyff fresh on the pitch here. Pele does good defensive work though. Marcelo brings it away. That was what he did. He wasn't able to create that chance, Dan. But everything is level now heading into our second leg in our PlayStation 4 semi-final.
But you respect it. You understand why he's waited to go for that last attack. Unfortunately, it came to nothing. In theory, he could have gone for one attack a little bit earlier. He might have won the ball back and could have got 2 attacks out of it. But instead, it just comes to a waste. We'll take a look at the 2 goals that were scored in that game, though. I mean, the first one, well, that wasn't even a goal. That was just one of the chances. Neymar, I thought that was going to go sailing in, but then Kante just outside the box. You saw that. You saw Hullet just step off him there, maybe expecting the pass back. And Andonii's taken full advantage of it.
That's the thing as well. You have to remember, you know, that Kante 89 on card shooting there, and in game he's got fantastic long shots on him. And it creates this dilemma for players. It's like I talked about before, you know, if it was Vieira before, you'd back off, that defensive-minded player. And it's kind of almost ingrained in these pros players that if you see N'Golo Kante coming towards you, you don't expect the long shot just because, you know, over the year, when we've seen him in previous tournaments, or if he's come on the pitch, for example, if we've seen an informed Kante or something like that, he's just, you don't expect the strike. Same with Patrick Vieira, but it's the second time, like I mentioned, in the tournament, and I think pros are going to have to quickly adjust to that. They're going to have to close it down. Imagine it is CR7. It is the likes of Ruud Hullet, because he has that in his locker, and it's the second time we've seen it, and it's the second time it could potentially have a big impact on games.
Well, not only that, but also, you know how easily the finesse shot can be countered from a situation like that. The keeper can be moved to stop it. So with Hullet, who he's defending with, he's thinking, all right, he's probably not going to hit this finesse shot because he knows how I could just move my keeper. So instead, he's probably going to try and make a 4th pass here. So he moves Hullet across, hopes that that pass is going to be made. It's not, and he's just not read the game how he expected. It's that kind of 50-50 guessing game of which way are they going to go. Wasn't quick enough on the keeper movement, and the goal was there. Regardless, it was 1-1 in the first leg. Very close, and it's going to come down, I think, to one of those itty-bitty goals. Like, I feel like it's going to be one of those, like, horrible ones that you just hate to see go in, because both these players are so closely contested. Maybe it'll be a penalty or something like that. Something heartbreaking for one of these two.
Well, one thing we can guarantee is one of these players will have their heart broken at some point in the next 90 minutes or so. Only one player can progress, of course, to our grand finals on the PlayStation 4. To be in with the chance of being the cross-console champion as well. Xbox still to come today as well. Plenty of action to bring you at home. Remember, we always want to hear from you guys as well. Use that hashtag Gfinity FIFA. Tweet at Gfinity as well. Your opinions on who's going to win the tournament, who could be the dark horse. As N'Golo Kante does some work at the other end here, this time winning the tackle for Andonii. And I expect to see a very, very similar style of play here from both players. It's been minimal risk from both these players. They understand what's on the line in these situations. They don't want to be the player to make a mistake.
Yeah, it's pass it round the centre-backs. It's switching from right to left-back. Not giving away possession in silly areas. and also kind of running the clock down a little bit. I think if they get out of their comfort zone, if they start playing too quickly and give the ball away, that's not their game, that's not their style, and that's why Boras did point out that this probably was going to be a low-scoring game. Because they both take their time on their attacks, they really work the ball up the pitch for that perfect opportunity.
Slightly rushed clearance there. CR7's on the edge of the box there, and that's what I talk about, you know, keeping your concentration in situations, you know. LevVinken had done such a good job defensively there that finally when he got the opportunity to win the ball back, he plays an immediate short pass, almost blind, just looking for a player, and he gave it away. It gave the ball away almost immediately. That little break in concentration, having worked so hard to get the ball back, is what can cost you a goal in certain situations. As we see now, Andonii on the edge of the box, looking for a strike of his own, doesn't quite get it right. David De Gea straight in behind that one.
And frustration will start to kick in, because the longer they try this slow build-up approach of looking for that perfect opportunity, and then they get a chance like that where they have just a glimpse of goal, the further we get into the game, the more they're going to take those chances, as Ronaldo has some space. Good goalkeeper movement, though, to counteract the shot to the left-hand corner. And it goes out for a corner as well. I thought Varane was going to get his noggin on that one.
Yeah, it was rising. Unfortunately, couldn't quite make contact on this one. It's Hullet on Hullet action on that right-hand side here. Free kick going to be given. Andonii with a chance to maybe throw this one into the box, take us back to the Tex MS Dasari game last time we were here in London. A set piece was the difference between the two players. De Gea comes out and gets a good fist on that one. And Lionel Messi's going to collect it, and now an attack can start. But again, possession just given straight back to Andonii here by Lev.
Yeah, Lev trying to just get one of those quick counter-attacks on the go, but Andonii again defending well. El Tornado flicks it up. Doesn't work out.
Another corner then. Whipped into the box. Neymar into that front post. De Gea again commanding his area well. But possession back with Andonii, and he has dominated the start of this second leg so far. LevVinken really hasn't had a chance to even get any of his players on the ball and try and create something himself. It's been all Andonii.
And that's why I really think that Andonii has a good chance in this whole tournament. Because he does play nice and calm, he plays slow, he frustrates his opponent. And if he can find that one goal to get a lead and then just frustrate his opponent even more, then he's going to be in a good position. He did find that goal in the first leg. Unfortunately for him, it was an instant response from Lev, exactly what he didn't want to happen. So it means he has to now slowly grind this matchup again to try and find that one chance. But Lev's not offering it easily.
I was going to say, the thing here for Lev as well is, you know, he almost had a little bit of a mental break there, just playing the ball around the back a little bit, having had to work so hard to even get possession back. It wasn't a surprise to see me, for me to see him just slow it down again, just give himself a little bit of a mental break, take a deep breath before trying to construct an attack of his own. Such is the pressure in these situations, such is the immense amount of focus that is required. Sometimes you do need that little mental break, as Marcelo now bursts down this left-hand side for LevVinken.
It's really one of those matches when you get two evenly matched players. They're just colliding. It's like being on, I don't know, a chessboard or a checkerboard, and just no one can make a move now. No one can actually win the game, it seems. And that's why I think it's going to take something either spectacular or sloppy to actually find this goal.
Ooh, speaking of sloppy, possession was given away. Ronaldo hit the perfect green finesse there, but the defender did manage to close down that space. We're approaching the half-time whistle in our second leg as well. Still tied up on aggregate at 1-1. No goals to report so far in the second leg. Is it going to be a mistake? Is it going to be a moment of magic? Is there a goal in this one just before half-time here? As LevVinken comes down this left-hand side, tries to burst around the outside of Maldini, but the Italian makes an important tackle.
And maybe it might be a goal found in the latter stages of the game when some of the centre-backs are slightly more fatigued. And maybe those Team of the Year foot items can actually take full advantage of that and be able to run past them comfortably.
Great ball. Ronaldo on the edge of the box. Strike once again blocked. Neither goalkeeper been busy at all. Any saves to really write home about. Pretty much redundant in this game at this point. Just before half-time then, look at that run in behind there from CR7. Did manage to get in behind his man. Not sure if Andonii spotted it or thought that pass was a high success rate pass. And now Ronaldo's going to go for the finesse, and he hits the upright. just on the stroke of half-time. Andonii just burst into life and almost gave himself the lead.
You've really got to appreciate the kind of defensive ability and the player switching of both of these players. Switching back and forth, moving players into certain areas, blocking runs, also getting close, stopping finesse shots. Unfortunately for Lev, he couldn't stop that one at all. But thankfully, the upright could. And you can see the stats there. I mean, just the one shot.
I mean, look at the possession, Dan. The possession almost shared completely equally.
But it doesn't feel like it. If you watch that game, it felt like Andonii had 60% possession, maybe. You didn't really feel like Lev had that much. And I feel like that's because a lot of Andonii's possession was in Lev's half, whereas Lev, of course, was passing around his defense quite a lot, switching it between his fullbacks. But now with just 45 minutes left and 1 goal in it.
So someone's got to go. Someone's got to make a change at some point. Someone's got to break this deadlock, and it's Mbappe who's looking dangerous to strike here from Ronaldo. And it is going to be Andonii who breaks the deadlock. What a strike from the Portuguese. He's an icon himself almost now. The team of the year for IM comes to the party here and finally breaks the deadlock in our second leg.
Absolutely blasts it into the back of the net there. And I'm not sure Lev could really do anything about that.
What a strike.
The keeper had been slightly moved to the right. It opened up that slot and he found it perfectly. And now, stay composed. Keep your defense together. Win this ball back from kickoff, and then get back to that same grind that you've been playing the whole game, Andonii. Because in theory, the way it's been going, he should be able to close it out.
Yeah, he doesn't have to change anything here. He doesn't have to change his game plan whatsoever. All of the pressure now goes back onto xLevVinken, and Lev giving the ball away there from the kickoff as well is going to mean you can almost guarantee at least 5, 6, 7 minutes will disappear from this game clock here because of the way that Andonii's been able to keep possession of the ball. And every single second that ticks past now, in a knockout format with this final on the line, looming for one of these players, every single second that goes past is going to be almost like a pin being pushed into xLevVinken. It's going to hurt.
Notice how Andonii switches up his passing a little bit. A lot quicker passing, one-touch football, because he knows Lev is going to be applying more pressure now he's behind once again. And you've got to be careful with those passes, not to just give it away to a stretching Hullet or Vieira.
Space here for Neymar then. It looks like Andonii's managed to get back into some sort of defensive shape, but Lev needs to make something happen here. Vieira on the ball. Trying to find space for a pass. There is Lionel Messi. He takes the finesse on, but it was red. And that's usually an indication of a little bit of pressure coming into things here. You know, you see these pro players, they're always hitting the greens.
Yeah, that was the frustration that I was talking about, just sitting in now. Because he hasn't answered back instantly, he now needs to try and find a way through this blockade that Andonii's been putting up the entire game.
Hullet now gets this one wide to Neymar. Marcelo invited forward, and now Neymar has the ball inside the 18-yard box here. Twisting, turning, ball to the back post. Messi equalises! Beautiful stuff from xLevVinken, spots the man at the back post. And people always ask the question, Ronaldo or Messi? Well, Ronaldo, he got the first goal of the game. Lionel gets the second.
And it was such a hard one to read for the goalkeeper as well, because you think Messi's going to take it on his head, first instinct. But then he waits, takes it on his right. De Gea's not quite got to it. I don't know if Andonii did move the keeper near post or not. But it's a great finish from Messi at the back post. A great spot from Lev to actually see Messi there. And we said it was going to be really difficult to break down Andonii, but Lev has found a way through, and we're right back to that stalemate we faced for so many minutes of this tie.
Yeah, order is restored between these two players. So tightly matched. And look at that ball in behind. De Gea, oh, it's second-guessed himself here, and Neymar's going to get to this one. Has the ball here, Varane trying to stay tight to him, but Neymar's wriggled away, and he's been the difference maker so far. Hullet on the inside the box. The ball drops almost to CR7. But all of a sudden, xLevVinken's come to life in this game.
But Andonii will go again. He'll be patient. He does. Notice how he waited there with the goalkeeper. He saw that Ronaldo was trying to get up in his grill, trying to take the ball off him and trying to just steal one away and take a goal. But he was patient, and I think patience has been the key word for Andonii in this game. He's been rewarded for it twice. But how long can he stay patient? That's the real question. How long can he stick to this game plan of his slow, methodical attack pressure?
And the thing to remember as well, Dan, is, you know, this isn't the first game of the day for these players. These guys have been doing it for a couple of days now, and every single game of FIFA that you play, it taxes you mentally. That added, you know, workload onto your brain, making sure that you're focusing up. Every single game that goes past, you get a little bit more tired. That becomes more difficult to concentrate. And the difficulty with that is every single game extra that you have to play has more on the line. It has more FIFA Global Series ranking points, it has more prize money, and it gives you more of a chance of becoming a champion here in London.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many times I should reiterate it, but I think 1v1 games in general throughout esports are always a lot more mentally taxing. Of course, team games are as well. However, you will have times where you can kind of relax.
Blame a teammate.
Put that pressure on your teammate, but you can only really blame yourself in a 1v1 environment. You've got your coaches there to kind of help you keep a level head. And maybe it's times like this where you do need to look to a coach or think outside the box. If Andonii has been going for this kind of single game plan of slow passing up the field, uses CDMs back and forth, wait for one of his wingers to make space, is there anything he can do different to try and break through?
Here is Ronaldo then inside the box, tries to whip it in. Again, you saw Messi was lurking like a shark in the water towards that back post once more, looking for his second of the game. Now you're going to see some changes made. I think it will be personnel once again, though. I don't think you're going to see too many tactical changes. It's almost exactly the same scenario that we're in at the end of that first leg. Neither player wants to be the player who loses this by doing anything rash towards the end of the game. It's all about just knowing and believing that you can create that one extra chance, and most importantly, knowing you have the ability when that chance comes to stick it away and give yourself that win.
Now, if you are just joining us here, welcome. This is the PS4 semi-final, the first PS4 semi-final. Looks like it might be heading into extra time at this rate. We also have Nicholas and Houston waiting in the other semi-final. Someone's got to win this game. Both these players so evenly matched.
Corner then for Lev. Whips it in. Ramos is towards the back post. He does win it. However, it just drifts over the bar, and De Gea will have a chance to send this one back upfield now for Andonii. Look at both these players in their player cams as well, Dan. No expression change whatsoever. Both completely emotionless at this point. Just pure focus and pure dedication to the craft.
If you let that focus slip for even a second, it's a pass that might go wayward, and then you're beating yourself up for the rest of the, well, season, day.
Till the next tournament.
Yeah, however long you've got until you can redeem yourself. But it's Andonii who's had the majority of the possession. Can he actually make it count here with Messi?
On his left.
Good goalkeeper movement again, though. Not going to be beaten that easily. Like I said, they need to find something different. It needs to be something surprising to catch their opponent off guard, I feel.
Ronaldo wins this header here for xLevVinken. Ball round the corner here is going to find Ronaldo once more. CR7. Back to Ramos, ex-teammates. Varane now switches this one across to Marcelo. I like this, trying to stretch the defence of Andonii. Putting a little bit more pressure on which player you switch to. You have to make those decisions and make sure you're not pulling a player out of position.
But neither of them are. Both of them are bringing Ronaldo back. They're bringing Mbappe back. Any of their strikers, their forwards, they're making sure they bring them back into the midfield to stop any kind of easy passes. Last chance.
Stoppage time then. Johan Cruyff with the scoop turn inside. Ronaldo's inside the box. The El Tornado does not come off. It was a ballsy play in the last few seconds there to go for that and try and create the opportunity for the strike. But we are going to go into extra time here in our first semi-final on the PlayStation 4. It has been an absolute war between these two players.
I mean, look at the pass accuracy for both of them. 94% on the side of Andonii, 91 on the side of Lev. There's not been much mistakes when they've tried to play the ball around at the back, when they've tried to just pass it between those two CDMs. They haven't given opportunities to their opponent to take advantage of them. And I think the problem is, as we get further into this game and the players get a little bit more fatigued, and the foot items also get more fatigued as well, mistakes will happen. Passes might go adrift. And it's who can actually really pounce on those opportunities and take them into the console final.
Who wants it more then? xLevVinken or Andonii? 2-1 aggregate, want to win this game. We're into extra time now. Penalty shootout looming on the horizon once more. Marcelo. Back to Vieira. xLevVinken with the first attack of the game here. Cruyff round the corner. Back onto his left foot. Sends it towards that back post, but there's the beauty of having Varane in that fullback position. He does have that height, 6'4", to deal with those crosses. First shot, though, comes in from xLevVinken, fairly tame. David De Gea will bring that one into his chest very, very comfortably.
Yeah, just hit it yellow on the timed, and you can see the frustration. Of course, you want to be trying to hit them green. More chance of them going in, as Messi has the ball on the right now. Can he beat the first man? No, he can't, but
Ronaldo!
somehow...
Oh, he's done it! Ronaldo has broken through xLevVinken's defence. We were talking about how it could be a little bit of luck going your way, and that's exactly what it was. The ball driven into the box. It bobbles around for just a second, and it falls to the feet of Cristiano Ronaldo. Having been presented with the chance, though, he puts it away. Could that be the goal that separates these two players?
I mean, he's tried a couple of skill moves to try and beat that first man. The first man's made that challenge, and it's kind of rebounded off both of them. But then when the opportunity gets presented to you like that, of course, you have to take it. Keeper couldn't get there in time. And now the tactics change again. And it all calms down a little bit.
It all calms down for just a second. This pause, perfect for both players. I think Andonii probably needs to just let that adrenaline just for a few seconds. Having taken the lead here, xLevVinken just to reset mentally here and think, how do I get back into this one? How do I create a chance? Still has time on his side. Of course, we're playing up to 120 minutes there, and there is that goal. It fell to Cristiano Ronaldo. He went near post.
And Lev will feel hard done by, especially after watching the replay. But he needs to put it to one side. All that matters is he needs to find a goal here. He's done it twice already, coming from behind. It's always been Andonii taking that lead. Can he do anything from the start here?
Well, here's Vieira into Johan Cruyff. Oh, what a tackle that was. I think it was Eusebio. Or possibly, I think it's actually Pele on that side of the pitch who made that tackle. CR7 now. Look at the high line coming in here from xLevVinken as well. He knows he has to try and win the ball back. All the pressure now is on him. Switch of play is going to create some space here for Marcelo. Eusebio. Back to Marcelo. And now this is exactly what you're going to see from Andonii. Just eating into that game clock. Trying to commit some players out, maybe before thinking about going forward, but xLevVinken has won the ball back here. And here comes Neymar through the center of the pitch.
Yeah, his players are so much further up now, trying to win that ball back, not allowing easy
Space
passes.
Here for Ronaldo.
Ronaldo to Cruyff!
Oh, what a save from David De Gea, though. Oh, my word, when you need a big save in a big match. A Spaniard does it in real life for United, and he's just come up with a beauty there. Ronaldo on the edge of the box, Neymar. All the pressure now coming in from xLevVinken. Andonii starting to feel the pressure. It's Johan Cruyff, and he scored!
Two really well-worked chances from xLevVinken, and he's been rewarded with it as well. Cruyff, who was dropped from a lot of teams with these new Team of the Year foot items, has been brought on, and he has rewarded Lev again for the third time coming from behind, as Andonii has to go straight back to the tactics board and start all over again. I mean, this game just has penalties written all over it.
I mean, what do you say? To come back again, xLevVinken, after that goal that he conceded, to find that ball inside, and it's Johan Cruyff, the fresh legs on the pitch, to find the finish as well. To time it perfectly, he did everything right in that situation. Now he's got to adjust the tactics. Now we're going to see the game revert to how it was before once more, with both of the players matching up against each other tactically. We're back to where we were at the start of the game.
But we talk about mentality, we talk about mind games, and what both of these players must be going through, considering how close a game it is. For Lev to go behind the way he did, where he's going to feel hard done by, it was a little bit of fortune for Andonii. For him to still come back and find two great opportunities with Cruyff just shows what a player xLevVinken is. And I think both of these players would be deserving of that PS4 final place. And at the moment, it's just a second half of extra time and then potentially penalties that might separate them.
So, one more half to go here of extra time. Are there more goals in this one? Does either of these players think about rolling the dice here, Dan? Both of them have just been cancelling each other out for the majority of this game. Anyone thinking, today I feel a little bit lucky, maybe change to a 4-2-2, put the pressure on. These are all hypotheticals. I don't think it's going to happen, to be honest with you. I think it's just going to be exactly the same for what we saw for the majority of these games.
I think both of them are very set in their ways, and not much is going to change. Especially on Andonii's side. I mean, he's been the one who's been going ahead, so there's no need for him to change in theory. If anything, it's been Lev who's been changing up his playstyle every time he goes behind. And he's gone more attacking, he's been higher up the pitch, and he's stolen the ball. He's been rewarded for it. But now is he going to revert to the same thing and then allow Andonii to get the pressure and maybe find that winning goal? Should Lev carry on that pressure, keep those players up the pitch? Don't give Andonii the time to just play it around his defence and look for the perfect ball.
There is the goal scorer then, Johan Cruyff, momentarily on the ball, and xLevVinken now thinking, I've come back from behind enough times in this game, I'd quite like to lead this one. Ronaldo down this left-hand side, stays on his feet well. Marcelo now, pull it, little bit of space for Vieira. Pocket of space here for Johan Cruyff. De Gea has to make another huge save.
Nothing special from the corner, but he does have possession still. Intercepted, the ball's going everywhere at the moment, except for Andonii's feet. And that's where he needs it, but it's going to be continued for xLevVinken. Pushing up this pitch, Cruyff tries again, but that one's going to go wayward. Did it take a deflection? No, it didn't. So we'll give Andonii a chance. 5 minutes left. Maybe 1, even 2 attacks potentially left in this game before we get to penalties.
I like what I saw there from xLevVinken, though. He went across goal with that first finesse shot that forced the save from De Gea. Very similar opportunity there on the finesse, but tried to go near post. Anticipating that goalkeeper movement coming in from Andonii. Unfortunately, didn't quite get the strike right. Maybe was just overthinking the situation, not actually concentrating on the technicality of pulling that shot off. But he does survive here, Andonii, and now Andonii's coming forward. And we're almost into stoppage time at the end of the second half of extra time here. Ronaldo trying to burst into the box. Goal kick here. Thought that might have been a corner momentarily.
It was a really heavy touch. And I'm sure Andonii was a little bit annoyed by that one. If he had just kept it close to his feet, he probably had a chance of putting the ball into the box, but it looks like it's going to be xLevVinken who's going to get the final attack of the game. And maybe could finally twist this game on its head and upset the turn of events. It's been back and forth, but it's gone the same way every time.
A bit of luck here, and it's going to be penalties here, Dan. Penalty shootout to come. Who's going to be first up here? Both players taking a second. It's going to be Lev with the first penalty. Cruyff steps up, and it's saved by De Gea. Andonii jumps out of his seat.
Ronaldo then on the other side for Andonii. Goes left, nice and comfortable, sends the keeper the wrong way and takes a 1-0 lead.
Ronaldo steps up then. Goes down just to the right-hand side, and it's going to be one goal separating the two teams at the moment. Steps up, big save. We're all tied up.
The nerves must be absolutely insane. Cristiano Ronaldo.
Oh, he's buried it.
Just down the middle. I don't know if that's a bury or just a...
It's good enough.
It's in the net.
Andonii then to tie things up with Lionel Messi. He's got a wand of a left foot. Can he find the net? Of course he can.
And we kind of felt it was going to come to penalties. Can Neymar set the difference? Oh, it's slow, but the keeper doesn't even move.
Ronaldo steps up for Andonii. Strikes it, goes bottom left and scores.
Crunch time now.
Oh, the keeper makes the save! That's huge! Andonii then steps up with Vieira. Goes bottom right, De Gea with another save, he answers back!
And now it's sudden death. As Vieira puts it in, it means this next goal, this next penalty has to be a goal to keep the penalty shootout going, and it's Kante.
Kante then for Andonii. Kante, oh, he's put it wide! He's put it wide, and xLevVinken wins it on penalties. It was a war, it was a battle. But xLevVinken will be the sole victor and find his way into our PlayStation 4 Grand Finals.
It's a cruel, cruel way to be eliminated from the competition. But I'm sure Andonii can only blame himself when he puts it wide. That's all down to him and his thumb movement where he's put that one.